Welcome to today's practice. For today's practice, you might like the assistance of either blocks or whatever you have in your household that may be able to support you, books, cans of soup, whatever it is, just to help elevate and lift different parts of your body. You also may want the help or the assist of a small pillow. We're going to begin today's practice from a seated position. If it's comfortable in your body, we're going to sit in Virasana or with the seat on the heels. Now, this is a pose that is often not comfortable for a lot of people due to compression and just limited mobility. And so there's a couple things that we can do. If you have a block or prop or support, you can lift yourself up onto your shins and gently stack as many blocks or books or props as you need, feeding them through so that they rest in between the shins and then gently allowing your seat to sit down on them. This will help prevent the compression in the legs. However, if there's any tenderness, any soreness in the ankles or in the knees, you can also sit in comfortable seat cross-legged or gently on a pillow or a prop that way as well. Finding our comfortable position in this seat, so allowing the pelvis to find a neutral position. So notice if the tail tends to be tucked under, if there's compression through this front line of the body. If there is, see if we can allow the pelvis to rock forward, not so far forward that we're in a back bend, but just finding that fulcrum point, that center point, that the pelvis sits upright and neutral. And then this will allow the spine to be able to elongate, feel the crown of your head lift up, and then draw your awareness, allow your breastbone to stack over top of the hips, and then feel the chin in so that it stacks above the breastbone. Feeling length through the back of the spine, feeling it through the back of the neck. Feel the crown of your head lift upward. Let your shoulders relax wherever they are. Try not to force them down, just let them find ease. Bring the palms of your hands down to your thighs. Today, for today's practice, we'll have a grounding posture with the hands, so allowing the palms to be face down inside your legs. And if it feels safe here, we will close through the eyes and begin to draw that awareness inward into ourselves today. And so the focus for today's practice is practicing being here in the present moment. And often we judge ourselves based on past selves or future selves. We try to recreate moments that we've had in the past or occasions, or if it's our body, our physical body that we've had in the past. Or sometimes we think ahead to the future, well, I'm going to change and shift and be like this in the future. But the key piece is to be able to be present with ourselves, knowing that where we are at now is a culmination of all of our actions, all of our experiences here in this present moment. And we may admire aspects of our past. However, we would also lose out on the wisdom and the knowledge that we've gained by living those experiences up to where we are at now. And the future isn't guaranteed. We have no control over the future. All that we can do is sit and be present where we are at now. And when we can learn to find contentment, when we can learn to find joy and love for ourselves here in this present moment, to work with where we are at now, then we can really begin to find that peace, find that joy and self-love. And that's the focus of today's practice, is to try to be present here in the now. And so we'll begin by becoming aware of how we are today. Begin to focus on where we are at in this present moment. And so, starting with your physical body, just notice how it feels. Notice any areas that are holding, that are offering containership or attention or gripping. And then also notice the spaces that are open and relaxed and soft. And as you scan through, the big question that we want to ask ourselves is this serving me? And so we tend to judge things right or wrong a lot. And so we often see tension or holding in the body as negative and openness and relaxation as positive, but they both serve a purpose. The tension in our body can serve as a container. It can hold everything in without tension or without engagement through the body. We would just be big puddles of jello on the floor. And the same goes with openness and relaxation. And sometimes too much openness can cause us to be those big piles of jelly on the floor. However, we can also find ease in being with openness and relaxation. And so the question to ask is it serving me today? And so begin to scan through your own body, noticing these spaces, noticing each part and noticing where it lies, whether in containment or whether in softness. And then also be aware if your physical body is trying to tell you anything. Sometimes when our bodies need attention, the initial signal to the brain comes in the form of a whisper. However, if that whisper goes ignored and it becomes prolonged, then it becomes into a scream, and that's where we experience pain and discomfort. So also notice any areas that might need a little more attention today, that might need a little more love. And then allowing your awareness to move in deeper, come into your natural breath. Notice the qualities of your breath today. What is it like here in this present moment? Is it smooth? Is it rough? Is it cool or warm? Sharp? Soft? What does it feel like in your body? And again, try to give space around judgment, thinking that one thing is better than the other, and remembering that we are here in the present and we need to love what is here now. It's just a reflection of everything that has come to be. And then moving from the natural breath, check in with your emotional body, with your mind, noticing the thoughts and the emotions that tend to be present today, that keep showing up, that want to preoccupy your attention. And again, have softness, have kindness around these observations. We tend to label emotions as good or bad as well. We tend to label happiness and joy as the good emotions and sadness and anger as the negative emotions, but They're all just feelings. They all need space. And again, they're all a part of you. And so allow them space to be, just recognize them, listen to what needs to be felt and said. And then allow your awareness to move into your heart space. Ask your heart if there's anything, any thought, any intention of loving kindness that you can offer yourself today with the energies of your practice. If it's patience, if it's calmness, if it's non judgment, what is that word, that sankalpa, that intention that comes to mind? And when your heart lands on it, when your mind can find that word, as you breathe in your natural breath, feel that intention move into the body. Feel it expand in and out with the breath. And as you exhale, let it move out with the exhale, surrounding the space around you so that you are fully enveloped in your own intention. And then gently we'll let the intention settle back in the heart space, landing there. And as your thoughts move and bounce around during practice, if you find that they've wandered to the future or if they've wandered to the past, invite them back to the present by coming back to that intention that's in your heart, here and now. And then coming back to breath, we'll begin to shape the breath for practice. As you inhale in through the nose, feel the air move in and downward, moving down towards your low belly. Feel that gentle expansion underneath your belly button as you inhale. And as you exhale, let the exhale move out smoothly and slowly, matching the length of your inhale. And then once you've connected to that rhythm in your body, we'll stay with this deep diaphragmatic breath for our practice today. Gently opening the eyes, staying with the breath, we'll begin to move, allowing the arms to hang down by the sides. As you inhale, you can reach the hands out to the sides, reaching up through the fingertips, maybe even looking up at the hands. And as you exhale, let the palms slide in together, coming down through heart center. And so we're going to move with breath here. Inhale, stretch, reach. Exhale, palms slide down through. If this feels good and you want to add on a little bit more to this movement, as you inhale, you can sweep the arms around, engage through the abdominals to help lift the hips up, coming up onto the shins, lifting up, and as you exhale, setting the hips back down. On the next inhale, we'll reach up, bring the palms together. As you exhale, bring the hands down through heart center, setting your hips down. We'll stay seated. Inhale, reaching the arms up. As you exhale, you can let your right arm come down as we bend into that right side, reaching that right fingertips down towards the ground. We can press in, leaning over into that right side, bringing the left arm overhead. As we inhale, come back up through center. And as you exhale, left arm comes down, bending into that left side, keeping the seat planted. Let yourself bend into the left. Inhale through center, bending towards the right. Inhale through center, bending towards the left. Keep flowing with your breath, moving in your own time. And as you flow, notice what you're experiencing here and now. What's happening in the body? What do you feel in the side bend? What do you feel in the upright posture? And then the next time you come through your left side, we will reach the hands up, let the palms come together, and then exhale, bring the hands down through the heart. Inhale here, elongate through the spine, let the crown reach up, relax through your shoulders. And as we exhale, turn belly, ribs, chest to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale back through center, twisting left. Keep flowing with your breath pattern. We'll flow one more time from side to side, again ending on the left. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to interlace the fingers and then gently lift the elbows up. If we can draw the elbows together, then let's do that. And then gently use the hands to draw figure eights, allowing the hands to move through wrist rolls. And then gently, without thinking too much, roll the wrist the other way. And then coming back to center, gently release the hands, give them a little shake out. From here, if you are seated on a prop or a block, We're going to take those out, place them off to the side, and then from our kneeling position, we'll just walk our hands, or sorry, from our seated position, we'll walk our hands forward into kneeling. And so with the palms spread wide, coming into this hands and knees position, ideally allowing your index fingers to be parallel. And then if there's no complication in the wrist, stacking the wrist under the elbows, elbows under the shoulders, and knees underneath the hips. Take a big breath in here. Find that length through your spine. Feel the crown of the head extend forward, pressing the tail towards the wall behind you. And come back to that rhythm of breath, that slow, deep, diaphragmatic breathing, breathing all the way into your belly. And then on your next inhale, press the crown forward, take that deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to tuck your tail under, pointing towards the back of your knees. Lift your spine up by pressing into the palms of your hands. Let your head gently dangle in between the arms to gaze at your thighs. And then as you inhale, lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Let your belly fill as it dips towards the earth. Let your spine sink in towards the floor. And then lift the heart forward. Exhale, tail tucks, spine lifts, head hangs. Inhale, tail lifts, belly sinks as the chest lifts forward. Keep moving with your breath, those deep diaphragmatic breaths. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in this recording, but it's a gray February day when I'm recording this, and there is a bit of freezing rain outside, and there's something super comforting about being inside and warm and hearing the gentle rain on the windows. So I hope you can find the same lovely surround sounds where you are when practicing. And then after your next exhale, as you inhale, come back to that neutral spine. Take a couple breaths here. And then finding balance between the two hands and the left leg. As you inhale, extend the right leg back. Press first the ball of the foot into the floor. Feel that extension through the back of the leg. As you exhale, bring the knee back to neutral. And we're going to find a rhythm here. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee in. Staying on this right side to begin. And then once this rhythm feels comfortable, if it feels safe, what we can do is instead of keeping the ball of the foot on the ground, we can bend the right knee, drawing the heel up towards the ceiling. As we do this, we can lift the tail, let your belly fill, let your heart look forward. And then as you exhale, let the tail tuck, let the spine round, drawing the knee in towards the chin or chest. Inhale, tail lifts, belly fills, foot lifts up towards the ceiling. Exhale, spine rounds, head hangs, and knee draws in towards the chin or chest. Going here a couple of times. Try to keep your hips parallel to the floor. On your next exhale, let that right knee land. Let the hips sink back towards the heels. Let your belly come forward. Take a break in child's pose. Stay with your breath. Stay with that full diaphragmatic breathing. If it feels nice, maybe gently roll your wrists to help relieve some of that compression. Take two more full breaths here. And then reach hands forward. As you inhale, come back to that hands and knees position. Take a deep breath in, feel that length through the spine, crown presses forward, tail presses back. Exhale here. As you inhale, we'll balance between the front two hands and the right knee, this time taking the left foot back. And start by pressing the ball of the foot into the floor just to get what that feels like, keeping the hips parallel to the ground. Exhale, knee comes in. Inhale, feel that heel press away from the crown of the head. And then when it feels comfortable, if you wish, on your inhale, let the knee bend, let the left foot draw up towards the ceiling. Lift your tail, let your belly fill, let your heart move forward. And as you exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine, draw the knee in towards the chin and chest. Inhale. Exhale, flowing with your breath. And then on your next exhale, let that left knee land. Let the hips sink back towards the heels. It might feel nice to move the knees apart to let the belly sink in as the throat comes forward, folding the hands, resting in child's. Stay here in the present as you're breathing. Notice what you're feeling. Notice how the body feels. Notice if the thoughts want to stray. Invite yourself to come back to your intention. One more breath, and then reaching the hands forward. Allow the hips to move back forward. Find the knees under the hips again. And then allow the hands to walk far ahead of the shoulders, reaching them out as far as you can and planting through the palms, keeping the hips lifted. Gently let your heart melt down towards the floor, either resting on the forehead or on the chin. Take a deep breath here, letting the heart gently open. And then pressing into the palms, gently walk the hands back towards the body, coming back into that hands and knees position. From here, take a deep inhale in, curl the toes under, and then as you exhale, keeping the elbows on in so that when you bend into them, they point back at your knees. As you exhale, pressing into the palms of the hands, lift the knees, and then move the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now, here, keep the knees bent at first, gently pedal them out. Pedal one leg at a time and feel the tail lift high and back. Breathe here. And then gently look forward in between the hands. Walk the feet forward, letting them land about hip width apart. And then let yourself gently hang. Bend deep into the knees to support the belly and the torso if necessary. Let your head hang. And then take a deep bend in your knees. Tuck your chin in towards your chest, round your spine, and we're going to gently roll all the way up to standing, letting the head come up very last to prevent any dizziness. From this top position, we'll turn to face the long side of the mat. Now, if you have blocks nearby, having one at each end of your long mat will be helpful for this next piece. We'll come to stand in the middle of the mat. So allowing the feet to be about hip width apart. We'll start by connecting the soles of the feet in under the big toe in the big toe mound, in the pinky toe mound, and then in the center heel, feel those three connecting points, and then gently let your toes rest into the earth so that they're not gripping. I call these velociraptor toes when we grip. Just let the toes gently kiss the ground instead. And then allow the knees to be soft so that they're not locked back, that they can rest over top of the ankles. Feel your hips over top of your knees. Feel that crown reach up, finding that elongation in the spine. Let the arms rest where they are. Feel your breastbone draw over top of the hips, chin over top of the breastbone. Come back to that nice full breath that we had at the beginning. Feel that air move all the way down into that low belly space underneath your belly button. And once you've come back to that breath, begin to notice the subtleties of standing. And so We've talked about the internal alignment, but also feel the skin on the front line of your body. Feel the skin on the knees draw, or as the skin on the shins draw up towards your knees. And then feel the skin on your thighs lift up towards your pelvis. Feel your belly, the skin on your belly draw up towards your chest. And feel the skin on your chest draw up towards the chin, feeling that upward line of energy on the front line of the body. And then feel the reverse happen on the back line. Feel the shoulder blades gently slide down the back, the skin on the back sliding down towards the hips. Feel the skin on your seat gently slide down over the backs of the thighs and then draw down towards your knees. And then feel the skin on the backs of your calves draw down towards the heels. Feel that grounding through the heel. On the outside edge of your foot, feel that grounding energy down. Feel the arms slide down towards the hips. Feel the skin on the outside of your thighs slide down towards the outside of the knee. Feel the skin on the outside of your calves draw down towards that outside edge of your foot, feeling that grounding presence. And on the inside edge of your feet, feel that skin draw up on the inside of your legs, drawing up towards the inside of your knees, drawing in and up towards the inside, connecting close to the top where it connects into the pelvic bowl. Feel grounded and stable here and notice how you feel in this present moment. Come back to your intention. Notice how you feel. And then gently opening the eyes, we'll come back into that movement matching with breath as we inhale, extend through the fingertips, reaching the arms out and up. At the top, instead of letting the palms come through heart center, flip the palms open, and as you exhale, let the arms come down, back down to the sides. So moving with your breath. On your next inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. As you exhale, we're going to rest the balance into the right foot, lifting up onto the ball of the left foot, and take a big step wide out to the left as you let your arms come down to shoulder height. From here, turn the toes of the feet slightly outward, having the heels slightly inward. And as you exhale, bend through the knees, let the hips sink down towards the ground. Bring the hands up to our cactus shape or goddess arms. Inhale, extend through the legs, extend through the arms. Exhale, sink in. Moving with your breath. Still intend to keep those lines of energy pressing through the outside edge of your foot, feeling that upward lift through the inside edge of your foot. On your next inhale, extend back up. We can bring the hands down to the hips. We'll turn the right foot so that it is either parallel with the long edge of the mat, pardon me, or turn it so that it's slightly rotated inward. And then the left foot, we will turn, I'll move this block, we'll turn so that it is pointed all the way out to the short left side of your mat. Now this gait is pretty close together. If you feel like you want to widen it a little bit, then you can do that as well. Taking a look down, when we bend into that left knee, we want it to line up with the left big toe. And then from here, we can turn the hips back towards that long side mat, only as far though to prevent that knee from collapsing inward. So again, feeling that grounding edge through that outside left foot, feeling that upward draw through the inside of the left foot. On the right foot, feel that outward grounding edge and feeling that upward energy from the inside of the right foot. Letting your hips land, we can inhale, draw the arms out to the sides at shoulder height. If you look forward against the long edge of your mat, you can see your two thumbs in your peripherals, and you can line them up to be at shoulder height. And then from here, as we exhale, bending into that left knee, letting the body land, looking over that front left hand. Breathe here. Stay in the present. Notice how you feel. One more breath. And then as you inhale, extend through both legs, keeping the arms extended. As you exhale, keeping the hips where they are, we're going to hinge through the torso, sliding the pelvis on top of the femurs. Let the left arm come down to your shin, lifting the right hand up. Feel the rib cage spiral open. Feel the rib cage open towards that long edge of your mat. You can bring the left hand either down to the shin, or if you have one of those blocks handy, but notice if you come down and you begin to collapse in. The intention is to still hold that same parallel position, only coming down so far as being able to maintain that, letting the ribs spiral open. Take a deep breath here. One more breath. And then we'll inhale, come back up. Let the arms rest for a minute. Take a breath or two here with the legs extended. And then we're going to flow between those two poses. So with the legs extended, let's inhale, draw the arms out to the sides. As you exhale, bend into that front left knee, looking over the front left hand. Then inhale, release the bend. Exhale, hinging through the pelvis, letting the ribs rotate open. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, lunge in. Moving with your breath. When you rotate open into this Trikonasana, this triangle pose, you can gaze up at the hand that's up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, come back up through center. As you exhale, gazing over this front left hand, So gently turning the head as part of this gentle flow. And then on your next inhale, come back up. Bring the hands down to the hips. We'll gently turn the toes back to face the long edge of your mat, keeping them slightly externally rotated with the heels in, toes out. We'll come back to that big inhale out to the sides, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sink the hips. Let's pulse here for a few breaths. Feeling that planting through the outside edge of your feet, that drawing up through the inside edge of your feet. And then inhale out. And then as you exhale, bring the feet back together in center. Let's reestablish that mountain pose, that steady Tadasana. And take 5 full breaths here, noticing what you notice. Be here in the present. Notice where you feel the echoes of the pose. Notice where you feel the lines of energy. Stay with breath, steady, deep, full. And after your next breath, we're going to move to the other side. And so coming back first to our flow as we inhale, sweeping the arms up. As you exhale, letting the arms float back down. And on your next inhale, we'll reach the arms up, resting the weight into the left foot, coming up onto the ball of the right. Gently step that right out towards the right side. I'm just going to move that block so we can see. And then turning the toes out with the heels pointed in. As you exhale, gently bend through the knees, sinking the hips, letting the arms come up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sink, flowing with your breath. Feeling that outward down energy on the outsides of your legs, outside of your foot. Feeling that upward lift on the inside. On the next inhale, bring the hands down to the hips. Now this time the left foot will either come parallel to the long edge of your mat or slightly rotated inward. And then the right foot is going to turn towards that right short edge of your back. And again, take notice if you need to make your stance just a little bit wider. But whatever you do, whatever adjustment you do, ask yourself why. Why are you doing this? If it's for showy goodness, there's no one here but you and I, and I'm not going to be impressed or judging you by that. Ask yourself what you need, is my point. And so from here, finding that stance that's comfortable, again, we can bend into that right knee, make sure that it lines up with those right toes, and then let the hips find where they need to land, drawing towards the left in order to keep that knee still protected. And then inhale, get nice and tall, look forward, find those thumbs in your peripherals, and then let the arms extend. And as you inhale, get tall. As you exhale, sinking in, gazing over that right hand. Take a couple of pulses here. And on your next exhale, let's land in that pose. Feel that outside edge of each foot plant in. Feel that upward lifting through the legs, through the inside of the legs. And this pose is very symbolic of our intention today. Virabhadrasana 2, it's said that the hand behind you represents the past, and the hand that's in front of you represents the future, and you land here in the present. And so we can look at the future, we can be aware of the past behind us, but the intention is to be here today. Take one more breath. And then inhale, come back up. Now, from here, we'll take the arms out, keeping the arms out as you exhale, keeping the hips sliding on top of the femurs. We don't want to jut the hip out. We just want everything to slide naturally, almost as if we're just pivoting our torso. Letting the right hand come down the shin, letting that left arm lift, and if we can, spiraling the ribs this time out towards the left, up towards the ceiling, looking up at that left hand. Breathe here. We want this right knee to be relatively straight but not locked. And on your next inhale, come back up. Exhale, sink into Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, extend. Exhale, gazing up as you bend in. Inhale. Exhale, keep flowing with your breath. If this is too hard on the arms, there's lots of variations. We can bend the elbows, turning the palms up. This takes some of the pressure from the shoulders. In our triangle pose, we can let that top arm come behind us and still spin through the ribs looking up. We can also often rest our hands on our heads. And so in this position, we can just let the hand gently rest against the head. Lots of options. You're still doing the work. On the next inhale, gently release. Bring the hands down. We will turn the toes outwards, the heels back inwards. Inhale, drawing the arms out to the sides. Exhale, letting the hips sink in. On your next inhale, no hurry to get there. Inhale, reach the arms out. As you exhale, bring the feet back together in center. Pause, find that Tadasana, and breathe. Come back to intention. If it feels safe, close through the eyes so you can have that awareness of what's happening on the inside. And then gently opening the eyes, finding that balance in the feet again, that 3 points under the big toe mound, under the pinky toe mound, in the center of the heel, feeling that outwards energy moving down, that inward energy moving up. We will gently rest the weight into the left side of the body, in the left foot, by simply coming up onto the ball of the right. Bringing that right foot nice and close to the left ankle, finding our balance here. We can either keep the hands down at the sides, we can bring them to the hips, or we can bring them together at the heart for balance. Looking forward, find your point of focus. We call it a drishti, something that your eyes can land on to allow yourself to find that inner focus. It's not a staring contest with the object you're looking at. It's just being able to draw your senses inward, finding balance. And then from here, turn the right femur outward to rest the heel on the inside of the left leg. Breathe here, find your balance. And if the balance feels steady today, then on an exhale, you can begin to slide the foot up the inside of the leg. Now the caveat is that we want to slide the foot up the inside of the calf. We don't want the foot to rest on the knee because that will hurt the knee. And if you're really bent and determined for your tree today to have the foot all the way up inside the groin, if you have to bend over to lift that foot up, we don't have the mobility. We lost the pose. So invite yourself to be kind and to find where your tree is actually at, being honest with yourself and finding the tree that's most stable, steady, stira. Breathe here. Take one more full breath. And then as you inhale, rotate the knee back forward, gently let the foot come back down. Bring the hands back down, come back to that neutral position, that steady mountain pose, and notice. Be present with the effects of the echoes of each pose inside your own body. How do you feel here and now? And then we'll move through the other side. So as you come back, gently open the eyes, finding that drishti, that point of focus once again. Bringing the hands either to the hips, to the heart, or letting them rest at the sides, whatever allows you to find your best balance. And then shifting the weight into the right foot simply by bending the left knee, coming up onto the ball of the left foot, and then bringing that left foot nice and close to the right ankle. Inhale here, get tall, and as you exhale, externally rotate that femur outward and let the heel rest on the inside of the right foot, right leg. Breathe here. And again, choosing how your balance feels today. If you can find steadiness on an exhale, you can slide the foot up into the calf. Again, remembering to be present here and now. Yoga is not meant to be a struggle. It's not meant to be a painful. It's meant to be honest with where we are at in each moment. One more breath here. And then gently let the knee come back forward. Bring the left foot back down. Come back to your standing posture and notice. Bringing your blocks or support back in front of you, just in case we need them. We'll come to that standing position. As you inhale, we're going to play with the balance in the feet. And so coming back to that breath flow, inhaling, drawing the hands out and around, bringing the palms together. As you exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. So we'll start here. On your next inhale, shift the weight into the left foot simply by bending the right knee. As you exhale, let both feet plant. Inhale, bending into the left knee. Exhale, both feet plant. We'll alternate from side to side. Now, this flow is going to work in a progression, and I invite you to listen to yourself, be present with yourself, and know if something doesn't feel right, come back to the previous step, come back to where it does feel good and where you were at today. And the next inhale, if it feels okay, we can lift the knee up of the foot that's raised and then gently draw it back down as you exhale. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, let it come back down. This is where you might want to find that focus point again, helping with balance. On your next inhale with the right leg lifted, we're going to hold the leg there. We can either bring the hand down to support the leg, or we can keep the hands at our heart. From here, we're going to externally rotate the leg outward, bend into that left knee, and gently bring the leg, this is it, bring the leg across the thigh. Now that's why these blocks are here. We can bend down and gently find support here and rest. We can also find balance and bring the hands together at the heart. Again, listening to where you are at today. If this pose doesn't work for you today, keep flowing with the knees raised, side to side. Taking one more breath. Slowly find balance. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring the left foot or right foot down, sorry. Inhale, come back to our flow. This time, we'll lift the left knee and bringing the hands to where we can find balance. We're going to turn that left leg out, draw the left calf on top of the right thigh, and begin to bend into that right knee to support the left thigh, or left calf, and then gently bring the foot up as necessary. If we need to bend and find balance, do so. Breathe. And then gently bringing the hands back down, finding that balance. Whew. And then bringing the foot down. Come back up to Tadasana, shake it out, and then pause and notice how you feel. Opening the eyes, we'll inhale, reach the arms out and up. As you exhale, arms down to shoulder height, deep bend in the knees. Let the belly come all the way down to the thighs. Gently let the head hang and lift the hips. And then bringing the hands down to the floor, bend the knees, one knee at a time, coming all the way down to kneeling. We're going to rest on the shins, and then with a block, bringing the block to the outside of the left leg, we will rest the weight into the left leg to extend the right foot out to the side. Now, some people feel comfortable with the toes pointed at the long edge of the mat. Some people feel better to have the toes pointed at the short edge of your mat. Depending on what you're trying to accomplish or achieve today or feel in the hip, I invite to find the one that's comfortable for you today. And then as we breathe here, we're going to intend to find that same neutral upright spine. So feel the crown lift up, feel planted through that left leg. As you inhale, we're going to bring the right arm up overhead. At the same time, we can begin to reach down to that left block, reaching that right arm over. Really feel that right foot, that outside edge, press in. Feel the elongation on this side. And then as we inhale, we'll come back up, bringing the right hand down to the outside of the right thigh, lifting the left arm up, and as we exhale, bending into that right side. Inhale, come back up through center. The arms are going to cartwheel. Bring the left hand down to that block or support. Really reach out. Inhale, coming back up through center. Right hand comes down to right leg. Left arm comes overhead as we side bend into the right side. Flowing with your breath. One more time. We'll end with that side bend into the right side, left arm overhead. Inhale, come back up to center. We'll draw that right knee in. Take a breath in center. Feel again the differences between the two sides of your body being here in the present moment. Experience the effects, the echoes of those poses, those flows. And then we'll pick that support up, bringing it over to the right side. And then balancing on the right leg. Extend the left leg out, again, finding the leg position that feels comfortable for you. Finding that upright torso. Take a breath in. And then as we exhale, finding balance, relax. Inhale, this time the left arm's going to lift up as the right hand reaches down to that support. Reaching in, pressing through that outside edge of your left foot, feeling that grounding as you reach up and over. And then inhale, coming back up through center. Left hand comes down, right hand comes up overhead, side bend. Flowing with breath. One more time from side to side, and we'll end by bending into that left side, right arm up overhead, and then coming all the way back up, drawing that left leg in. Gently moving the hips off to one side, letting the legs swing out and around. This time we'll place our seat in the center of the mat, and then tucking the chin, gently rolling down. When you are reclined, we can draw one knee and the other knee up into the chest. Give them a gentle hug, maybe rocking from side to side. And then bringing the hands to the shins, gently circle the legs in and around, moving out and away from each other. And then gently circling them in the opposite direction. Then coming back to center, we're going to draw the knees towards the belly again. This time bringing the hands behind the backs of the knees to hang on to the backs of the thighs. Then let the knees move out towards your armpits, separating. Gently lift the feet up and out, adding that gentle compression on the backs of the thighs, and just breathing here. Let your shoulders relax, let your jaw relax. Breathe deep into your belly. Take one more breath here. And then use the hands to bring the knees back together. Gently raise the feet up towards the ceiling, raise the hands up towards the ceiling, and let the feet and hands move into wrist and ankle circles. First one direction, and then the other. And then Gently bend the knees, drawing the knees back in towards the chest. Lower one foot and then the other. We can bring the arms out to the sides. You can either let them be in a T shape with the shoulder blades planted or keeping the shoulder blades planted. We can bring them up into those cactus arms or goddess arms, whatever feels better in your body or whatever you have space for in your home. And then starting with the feet wide apart. So heel toe the feet wide as your mat. And as you exhale, we'll gently let the knees fall down to one side and then coming back up through center, falling to the other side. Doing that a couple times from side to side. And then gently begin to heel toe the feet a little bit closer together, still flowing from side to side. And then a little bit closer. And you'll notice that the movement starts first in the legs rotating inside the hips, and then as you move the feet closer together, the hips become a little more active and it becomes a spinal twist. So we can gently work through our body that way. And then coming back to center. From here, we will move into our posture of integration. And whether you choose Shavasana, which is corpse pose with the legs extended, the hands out at the sides, resting this way. You can choose to have a support like a pillow underneath the backs of your knees. That's always an option. Also, bringing the feet to the floor. Again, feet wide apart, almost the width of your mat, and then letting the knees fall in together. We call this constructive rest. So the bones of the femurs are resting against each other, supporting their own weight so that the muscles and tissues can relax. And from here, whatever position you choose, let yourself begin to feel heavy, begin to relax, and coming back to exactly where we began. Because, like everything in life, we move in circles, we move in patterns. And we have these opportunities of returning to a similar point to where we started to be able to reflect on what has changed and what is the same. And so now in your physical body, know what's present now. Notice the subtle changes. Notice any areas of containment or holding or tension. Noticing any areas of openness or softness. And notice the things that are the same and the things that are different. And as always, ask yourself, is it serving me? Is it serving you as a person? And then moving from the physical body, come into the breath body, let go of any breath that we shaped for practice, and let your body breathe naturally. And notice how that feels now. And then also notice your emotions, your thoughts. Notice if they're the same or if they've shifted. And then allow your awareness to come back to your intention. For the next couple of natural breaths, Breathe your intent in, let it plant that seed inside your body, filling you up. And as you exhale, feel it move out with the exhale, surrounding the space around you. So you're fully enveloped in your own intention, that intention of self love, of compassion, of present moment awareness. And then letting that go too. Let yourself rest. Let yourself be here in the present in conscious relaxation by just allowing the mind to follow the natural path of the breath. Feel the nice cool air on the tip of your nose as you inhale, the nice warm air that comes out as you exhale, and just stay here, present, aware, relaxed. Very gently allow one thread of your awareness to come back to your physical body. Coming back to breath first, take a deep inhale in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it all sigh out, letting everything go. You do one more. And then wiggling through extremities first, fingers, toes, maybe even wiggling your nose. And then gently rolling the head from one side to the other. And making small movements through wrist circles, through ankle circles, gently reawakening. Might feel good to even draw the knees back up into the chest, giving them a gentle hug. It also might feel nice to give a good long stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, stretching long. And then when you're ready, roll to a side body of your choice, letting either a prop or your arms support your head and neck. And take a couple of breaths here, just allowing the body to come back. And then when you're ready, use the hand that's on top to press the palm into the floor, pressing up, tuck the chin in towards the chest, round spine as you gently come up, and then coming all the way back into seated. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, and your practice with me today. I hope your present moment awareness continues throughout your day, your week, your life. And know that as we evolve and change, we just have to be aware of all the goodness that comes from change. And where we sit now is just a reflection of all the good things that we've done. Namaste.